Sergeant Busisiwe Mjwara has been laid to rest in Pietermaritzburg after she and her rescue dog drowned during the floods in the province. Mjwara has been hailed as a selfless leader and an officer who served her community with diligence. Our reporter Zikhona Tshona is there. She's been following the ceremonies through the day. She joins us now live. Zikhona, good afternoon to you. Very difficult situation, very, very difficult to watch. What's happening now?
Very difficult indeed, Stephen. As you've mentioned, she died last week while conducting a search for 3 victims of the KZN floods. What's happening right now is that she's currently being buried. Behind me, as you understand, according to church proceedings, the church members, she's part of the Methodist Church, are meant to sing until her body is completely covered. The Minister of Police, they're taken to the podium saying that she was a selfless leader but committed to serving South Africa, but also committed to learning more skills in the profession of the police. She went beyond just being a formal police worker, but wanted to learn about diving, which is why she entered the diving unit, a predominantly male-dominated unit. So Cele has also praised her for breaking boundaries and barriers and saying this is someone who was committed to really serving South Africa, and she died with her boots on in the line of duty last week after she drowned in the Sunduzi River and was airlifted to hospital, and that's where she was declared dead. Now, of course, she did receive an official state funeral. What we saw taking place here is that her coffin, her body was draped in the South African flag, and the police did many salutes to honor her. And in the end, her uniform as well as the South African flag was handed over to her family just in her honor, to say that her name will forever remain entrenched and engraved in South Africa's history, given the way in which she died and given the fact that she died in the line of duty.
And of course, you know, this in a way is just one aspect of what we've seen over the last little while in KwaZulu-Natal, but so much sorrow for people in the police, and a very fitting send-off with very high-profile people there to say farewell.
Certainly, the National Police Commissioner was here. The Premier in the province delivered a speech during the funeral proceedings. But also the Minister saying it's not every police officer that will receive an official state funeral. So this is a huge honor and a huge acknowledgement, saying that it goes as far up to the Premier and even the President sometimes, that people are awarded such an honor as a send-off. So this is not a usual thing that has happened here today, and it ought to be celebrated, saying that heroes like what Busisiwe Mjwara was should be celebrated in their honor, and their send-off should really replicate how they live their life, dedicated to the police force. But of course, we saw there the members of the diving force, her team, when they formed that guard of honor around her body. Stephen, tears on many of those, coming out of many of those eyes, many of them inconsolable, as they tried to maintain some calm while they honor their colleagues, because some of them, as you can imagine, would have been there on that fateful day when she lost her life. So it was certainly not easy for them to be here today to say goodbye, because, as Betty Cele said up there on that podium, now they have to live with the reality that her name will not be called again when they are called for roll call to say that they are reporting her duty. They will never hear the name Busisiwe Mjwara again being reporting for duty in that diving force. As I've mentioned, she joined the police force in 2008 and then progressed to the diving unit in 2016. So this is someone who has served South Africa for many, many years. So it's very fitting that she receives that honor that she does today, and also it was attended by such high dignitaries.
Thank you very much indeed, Zikhona Tshona. I really do appreciate that update on that story. That singing will continue, of course, for some time to come.